Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to each and everyone, to all the viewers, subscribers, followers of Pageant Trend. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very much excited for tonight, for this morning, for this afternoon, because we will be joined by our Miss Earth 2021 winners and, of course, the Elemental Queens. Are you all excited? Well, I am very much excited. Ladies and gentlemen, I am JM Suelo and I will be your correspondent for tonight. And now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's meet our Miss Earth Queens. Let's begin with our first queen. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause, virtual round of applause for our Miss Earth Air. Miss Earth Air. Hi.
Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for having me on the show today. My name is Marissa Butler, and I'm representing the United States of America and was just recently crowned Miss Earth Air. And I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who is tuning in today to get to know not only myself, but all the other lovely ladies as well who had won their respective Elemental Queen titles.
All right. Thank you so much, Marisa, for joining us tonight. And now we're gonna have our Miss Earth Fire. Hi, Baitong. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon.
Hello สวัสดีค่ะ My name is ใบตอง จริยเพชรสม I'm Miss Aspire 2021 and I'm really appreciate to come here to live with you guys. Any question and can ask us and all of the queen.
Thank you so much, Miss Earth Fire, and of course, our very own Miss Earth 2021, Destiny. Hi, Destiny. How are you
Hello,
doing?
I'm doing amazing. How are you?
I'm good.
Well, I am
Would you
Destiny
like to
Wagner,
greet your
your Miss
fans and
Earth.
supporters?
Uh, what was that?
Would you like to greet your fans and supporters?
Of course, I am Miss Earth 2021, and I represented the beautiful country of Belize, and we just had a major historic win. So I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to for everyone who has Googled Belize and has showed us so much love, especially in the Philippines. We definitely appreciate the support.
Thank you so much, Destiny. And now, ladies and gentlemen, once again, to all our viewers, Facebook Live viewers, feel free to drop your questions, your comments, and whatever you want to say to our Miss Earth Queens. So, before anything else, we would like to know how are you ladies doing after the coronation night? Let's start with our very own Miss Earth.
I'm doing well. It's just been overwhelming. I've been receiving a lot of messages, and so my life literally changed overnight. So I'm just trying to keep up with everything that's happening around me in my personal life, as well as in my, like I'm a public figure now. So it's it's been a little bit of confusion for me as well. I'm still trying to wrap my head around this. Like this is really happening. This is very much real. But I am enjoying the process, and it's given my country recognition, the recognition that it deserves, and that's the best part about my coronation thus far.
Yes, and I heard, of course, this is the first time that Belize won an international crown, right,
Hmm.
Destiny? And it's Miss
Yes,
Earth 2021. So, congratulations, Destiny.
thank
How
you.
about Miss Earth Air? How are you feeling
Oh
after
my
being
gosh.
crowned?
Oh, it's been amazing. It's definitely been a whirlwind, kind of as Destiny was saying. Your life kind of changes overnight. I've been trying to get back to all my friends and family who sent me messages, all the fans as well. But there's a lot, so it is like another job. I also work full time, so balancing that all with this big, overwhelming support is just it's a lot to get used to, but I'm so grateful and so happy for everyone who has been supporting me along the way and sharing in my victory. I think it is just amazing. It goes to say how strong the Miss Earth USA organization is. That we've had 3 titles in Miss Earth 3 years in a row. So I think that that's very. I just want to say thank you to Laura and her team for giving me all the support that I could have ever asked for to be able to be sitting here and talking to you right now in this moment.
Thank you so much, Marisa. And indeed, you have a very strong team, right? For the past few years that USA has been always been there, no?
Hmm.
being winners for Miss Earth. So let's go to Miss Earth Fire. Baitong, how are you? How are you doing after being crowned as Miss Earth Fire?
Well, this is such a honor opportunity to do my work after this because I still do like I'm a freelance creative and I still have many projects to finish, and yes, I need to manage my time and everything after this. And this is I think it's gonna be like another chapter in my life to make my voice bigger and stronger with the Miss Earth title. I'm really happy with this. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much. Now let's go back now. With this question, our next question would just be taking us back to that experience when you were crowned with your respective titles. How were you ladies feeling when your name were announced during those times? Let's start with Baito.
Well, I did not expect it at all because Thailand we did not get in like really deep for a while for a long time. But I just like happy for everything I do and happy with every moment. So when they announce my country, my Thailand, it's be like the world is really open as is. It's be like cheerful and make my heart really like my heartbeat gonna stop anytime and everything is just like what really it's really happening it's Thailand, yes, and it's my name. It's still like I still can hear that sound in my head.
How about you, Marisa? What
You know,
were your
I
feelings during that coronation night?
I just had so much gratitude. I think we all can say that we're not here. This wasn't a win just for ourselves. This was a win for every single person who was believing in us and supporting us. And for me, that was a 10-year long journey. My first pageant was November 20th, 2011, and my last pageant was November 20th, 2021. So it's an exactly 10 years from the start of this journey for me. So it was so overwhelming to be able to really end my pageant journey on such a high note and to really have represented my country beautifully. So I had so much gratitude, and I just thought of all the people who had been helping me along the way. And for me, it's always been about the people. That is what pageantry has been for me. It has brought the most amazing people into my life, and they are going to be my family forever. And so there was a lot of gratitude in that moment for every single person on my whole 10-year journey that was able to help me become the person I needed to be for this moment to be possible. So just an overwhelming feeling of gratitude and love for everyone in my life.
Totally agree. And yeah, the feeling that you're having is that you are so grateful to your fans, your supporters, to the team who have been there through your difficult times during the pageant. How about you, Destiny? What was your feeling during that coronation?
During the coronation, I thought maybe like this is a rehearsal round. I'm like, did he just say Miss? He said Miss Earth, and I was waiting like, what is about to happen? He said 2021, and I just immediately was so shocked. I don't know if you, well, then on the video, I'm like looking in front, and then I looked to the side because there was a camera on the side as well. And then I looked to the other side of me where there was no camera. I was just all over the place looking like because I didn't know where to look at. I was so excited and overwhelmed with all the emotions, but the biggest feeling was just gratitude. I was just so thankful that I know a lot of people worked very hard for me to be in this position. So when I won, we all won, and I knew that we were all gonna celebrate together. And that's like the thing that was on my mind. Like, wow, I like I can't thank them enough. Like my win was the biggest thank you I could have gave them.
Yeah. How about right now when you won the crown? How did you change your daily schedule? Like, do you get busier than before, or can you share with us how does your daily schedule look like?
So
Let's
right
start.
now it
Yeah.
Okay, so right now it's pretty calm. I think thus far we've just been focusing, and I think I can speak for all of the queens. We've just been focusing on our interviews right now, and the time difference that's probably been the most challenging thing. Most I've been having to get up around like 4 every morning to do interviews this week, and I'm definitely not. I'm not a morning person. I'm a night owl, so I do like I loved nighttime. So that's like been the most challenging part. As far I've been receiving a lot of messages, a lot of emails, a lot of potential opportunities, and my mentions and all my social medias have been blowing up. But I have to remind myself, like, Destiny, you have to take a mental break sometimes, log out, and go to sleep.
How about Marisa?
I can just say it's all the same things Destiny is saying for sure. It is a lot of focus right now on our media week, which has been amazing. Being able to come and talk to all of you and let the fans get to know their new queens and get to know us a little bit more. So that's just an amazing opportunity. I think one of my favorite parts about this whole competition being virtual was that it really open the door for more media interviews, even in the run up to the pageant. So I really hope that we keep utilizing this tool in future editions when we do return back to the stage, because I think it's so important to get to know these women on a intellectual level, because that is truly how we are going to be able to change this world for the better, is by sharing our message and getting collective works going around the world and collaborating with people. So, even though the time zone difference is a little difficult for us to get used to, waking up in the dead of the night and finishing our interviews before the sun comes up, I'm so grateful for this opportunity, because it really is going to allow our voices to reach more audience, and kind of inspire that change much more quickly than it would have been if we were relying solely on in-person activities. But I'm excited for that to start in the coming months. And I hope to be able to meet all of these amazing ladies in person as soon as possible. So, but, just getting used to the new schedule, and loving every step along the way.
Thank you so much, Marisa. How about Baito?
Yes, pretty much like the same, the other queens. Because actually, to be honest, I'm gonna confess to you, because I'm not a city person. Usually, I'm gonna go to the jungle or ocean or some activity like that. But now I'm gonna focus on interview and let you guys getting to know our all of us more and more and more, because after this I think it's gonna be not just 1 year to do our work. 1 year is gonna be, yes, to on duty, but after that it's gonna be like we're gonna spread our voice and our advocacy more and more. I think it's really good opportunity, like Marisa said, because virtual is like we can spread our work like everywhere in the same time, and we're gonna create really beautiful project after this.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ladies, for sharing your experiences and how did your schedule change when you won the crowns. This time around, what we would like to know, what were the challenges that you encountered during your preparations for the pageant, during the coronation night, and yeah, so how was it? What were the challenges? Let's start with Destiny.
So I did face a few challenges. I live in southern Belize, so sometimes the Wi-Fi there is just not too great because it literally rains every night in my hometown, PG by the sea. So the Wi-Fi was an issue for me, as well as I was appointed pretty late into the pageant. So a week or 2 weeks after I was appointed, my videos were due. So I had to schedule like a bunch of filming, like try to get everything, organize everything. So I was just so overwhelmed. Like the first week of my appointed as Miss Earth Belize, I had to do so much behind the scenes work. But I am thankful for the outcome of that. And the other difficulty was being trying to remain true to myself throughout this process, because oftentimes we are faced with criticism and unsolicited advice or opinions from others on what they think we should be doing, what they think we should be wearing, what they think we should be saying or speaking. So that was pretty difficult as well. But ultimately, I remained true to myself. And I think my authenticity is what got me to this point.
Thank you so much, Destiny. How about let's go to Baito. What were the challenges you encountered when you joined
Well,
Miss Earth?
I think it's because we on the virtual, so challenges for me is like I had to fight with myself every time because we never know like the reaction gonna be after we do the every competition after that, right? The swimsuit and the evening gown or even like the talent and everything, but it still be like the challenge. I think it's like really having fun time to make all those film by myself because I'm graduated from like film school, and this is be like opportunity to me like to show what who am I and what I can be. And I think it's really great because like I see more the bright side more than like the hard one, you know. It's really having fun with the this time, and we can show every resource in our country, and it's like it's make everything like so variety and challenges. It's supposed to be like that.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Baito. Let's have Marisa. How about you, Marisa? What were the challenges you encountered when you joined this earth?
You know, I have to say I'm very fortunate that I had such an amazing team behind me. So as far as actual competition part, it went very smoothly for me. I just can't say thank you enough to my team. I say the things that were challenging for me more so were on my personal life. With there were some illnesses within my family. They live across the country, so it wasn't easy for me to be able to go back and support my family. So that one was very difficult for me. And then I think the other thing is just difficult is because I love that out of the process of pageantry is meeting the other women. So the fact that it was virtual, I wanted to be able to go and meet them all, give them hugs, and talk to them in person. But of course, because of COVID, we are not able to do that. So instead, I tried my best to reach out to every single queen as she was crowned, to just welcome her on, since I was one of the first girls crowned from our batch, and try to get to know them and foster those friendships that way. So it was a little bit different of a way of making friends, but I think we did an amazing job of doing it. I know that me and Baitong have been like chatting back and forth forever now. It was long before finals night. Her and I have been, chit chatting and getting
Yes.
to know each other. So I was really happy when I found out that she was in the elemental court as well, and I'd be spending this next year with her. And then also, Destiny has always been so sweet along the way as well. So, I'm just really looking forward to spending this year and actually getting to meet these women in person. That's a huge challenge for me. I'm such a social person. I love to meet the other women. So not being able to create those friendships in person was very, that was the only part about it being virtual that I was truly upset about, was just not getting to meet the other girls in person.
I agree. And also Romy as well.
Yes, yes.
All right. Thank you so much, ladies, for answering those questions. And now we have, I believe, 80 plus viewers, and there have been a lot of comments here. To all the viewers who's watching us tonight, this morning, this afternoon, wherever you are, if you have any questions for our queens, kindly drop it in our comment section so I can ask it to them in a little while. Right now, let's talk about your advocacies. As we know, Miss Earth, you will be warriors for the environment. You have your respective advocacies when you join the pageant. Let's talk about it. Let's go to, let's start first with Baitong. Baitong, can you share with us your advocacy when
Yes,
you joined the
yes,
pageant?
sure. I love to share it. Well, actually, I'm really, really upset and really, having really good time with the people always because, like, after I graduated from my school, I've been joining to do TV program traveling and also be a host. And also, I be a creative as well. So pretty much I do everything, and I meet every local people, and also I fixed the problem about the enrollment, and I figured out it's not from the enrollment, but it's from human behavior. It's from our understanding and our knowledge. So my advocacy and what I'm gonna do is gonna start with I'm gonna give them knowledge, like easy knowledge, because sometimes the knowledge is come from like the doctor from the really like high school or something like that, and not everyone understand that language. So we support to try it to be easier and close to them and speak the same language with them, like especially with the local people. And because we are human, and the one is we need to survive without life more than need to take care of something else, because we have big family to take care of already. And so that's the reason why we supposed to give them a knowledge first, and after they have a knowledge, they're going to understand what they're supposed to do after that. And I'm going to show them like the easy way how to you green your lifestyle, like the tip and everyday life and what you can do. And also like in the future, I'm going to create like eco living academy to get them to having fun and have the place to learn more and be more like harmoniously with the nature. Yes, pretty much like that.
Wow, that was nice. I really love your advocacy. It's really all about educating people. And I love, um, you said earlier you want to create a place where you want to train them and educate them and make it a learning environment for
Yes,
them. So,
exactly. Because environment is human as well. Because we are the one in the diversity in this world, so we cannot take in a pause from like, okay, we are human, we're gonna stay with the human only. No, it's not be like that. Think about like the air we breathe every day is from the nature. So we supposed to be understand that first, and then take care of it. Because before you understand it, you need to have a knowledge, and after you have a knowledge, you understand it, you're gonna care about it.
yeah. Thank you so much, Baitong. So let's I would like to just repeat what you said. Let's start with the knowledge, and then when we understand, when we truly know, when we already have that knowledge, then we can understand what needs to be taken care of, what needs to be addressed. And yeah, that was really great. Thank you for sharing, Baitong. And let's go to Marisa. How about you, Marisa? What was your advocacy when you joined Miss Earth?
So my advocacy is called the Collective Earth. And so through the Collective Earth, I aim to teach the four vital values that I believe are important for our protection of Mother Earth. So that would be empathy, love, respect, and accountability. And I think that the best way to be able to really truly teach those values is through meaningful experiences within nature. So for myself, I learned love and empathy by helping my mother rehabilitate sick and injured and orphaned animals when I was just a young girl. I was able to learn respect by working with the ocean's fiercest creature, the sharks, when I was volunteering for NOAA's cooperative shark tagging program. You really get a you understand every single animal's part in the ecosystem and respect them for their role in keeping our world in balance. And then I learned accountability when I started my own nonprofit organization called We Clean Trails. So We Clean Trails is aims to reduce the litter crisis found in my community in San Diego. San Diego actually is home to more endangered plants and animals than any other location in the continental United States. So it's so important that we limit our human impact through litter and removing that litter, because over 1 million animals die every single year from ingesting or becoming entrapped in litter. And with my organization, I've actually been able to remove over 10,000 pounds of litter from San Diego alone. And now we're starting to add new chapters in other parts around the United States. And we have plans already for this year to have some international travel to both Mexico and the UK for future We Clean Trails events with some of my friends in those countries. And so I'm looking forward to expanding this. And I'm hopefully going to be also doing a virtual cleanup day where we can invite all of you netizens from around the world to be cleaning up your local community as well, and add to our total for the day for the trash removed from our natural spaces. So be on the lookout for that in the coming months. I will probably be rolling that out sometime after January, but I will be asking everyone to join me in the fight to combat our litter crisis around the world.
Thank you so much, Marisa. Wow, I love your advocacy on litter crisis. And it's really something that we really have to address, especially during these difficult times where, especially the medical waste and, the biodegradable, non-biodegradable, and all of those things. And we're really excited on how you will roll out your projects in the coming months. And yeah, I believe everybody will be supporting you all the way with your advocacy. Thank you so much, Marisa, for sharing your advocacy. Let's go to our Miss Earth Destiny. Hi, Destiny. Can you
Hello.
share with us your advocacy?
Of course. So, my advocacy I focused on is marine conservation. I am from the Caribbean, so I was surrounded by water. I probably learned how to swim before I learned how to walk, and that is almost the Belizean way. Especially having been raised in the villages, so I was always next to the Caribbean Sea, the lakes, waterfalls. So I naturally gravitated toward water as an adult, and it's something that I am passionate about our marine life, and I'm learning as well that our human activity plays a part in it. So our coral reef, they benefit us so much. They benefit our entire aquatic ecosystem. So it's so important that we do our part to preserve that and protect it. And most importantly, be hold ourselves accountable for our actions and be a role model and show the children that we benefited from having healthy oceans, so they should reap those benefits as well. So aside from marine conservation, I also focus on children's rights, and I do have a nonprofit in my hometown Punta Gorda called Operation Kingdom, in which we aid children in the rural areas. I grew up in these villages, and there was little to no resources there, but we were a tight knit community. So everything that we needed, we got from one another. As an adult now, it fulfills my heart so much to be able to go back to these same communities that I grew up in and help them. Now that I'm traveling, I do fundraisers in different parts of the states to raise money for them. We recently got a whole class, some tablets. We were able to do like toy drives, school supplies, and maintain a sustainable feeding program. So I'm hoping to combine my passion for marine conservation with my nonprofit as well, and see where it goes. It's right now it's local, but I'm hoping that we can get this started throughout Belize, and hopefully throughout the world.
Thank you so much for advocating for marine conservation, and we are really excited on your reign as Miss Earth, and on how you will be advocate for marine conservation and all these advocacies. So thank you so much, ladies, for sharing with us your advocacies. And now we want to entertain the questions from our viewers tonight.
Okay.
So I have here a question from Daryl Peña Redondo. The question is, what is one thing do you think made you become an Earth warrior? So what is one thing do you think made you become an Earth warrior? So let's have Marisa.
So I think that the biggest influence on me becoming an earth warrior was my mother. As I said before, I really created my love and empathy for Mother Earth and her animals from a very young age because my mother always exposed me to rehabilitating sick and injured animals. I grew up in front of a wildlife preserve in Maine, so we were really able to see the beauty of undisturbed nature, but everyone always called my mother Snow White because animals just absolutely loved her. We even had little chipmunks that, were our friends. When we came home, we'd call out their name. They'd come and crawl up and say hello to us. We give them, little sunflower seeds and peanuts. And, so no animals were ever like afraid of my mother. They always were. So surrounded by wild animals from a very young age just because of how much of a relationship my mother had with them. And then also realizing that if we have a chance to help someone or something other than ourselves, to always take that opportunity. That's something that my mother taught me from a very young age. She's a very giving and loving person and always opened our home to anyone who needed it, whether it be a person or a little animal as small as a mouse. She never discriminated on any type of life. I think that she really taught me that all life was precious from a very young age. And that's something that really carried with me through my entire life and adulthood. So I really attribute it to the lessons I learned as a child under the tutelage of my mother, and just because of how big of a heart she had. So I was always wanting to be able to give the same love I received from my mother back out into the world, because I think the greatest gift we can give anyone and anything is our love. So that was really my inspiration to become an earth warrior. And it happened at a very young age. It was definitely something that I was born into and brought onto this world to do.
Thank you, Marisa. How about Baito?
Yeah. Okay. So first, I love Marisa mom as well because she just sent me a cute message on my Instagram. So thank you for that. See, she really like spread love all over the world. So about me, I think everyone in my life be inspiration for me because we already be inspiration for each other already, and I think it's pretty much about time and about opportunity because I did not want to be like the earth warrior at first, but everything is like give me this, the world give me this, the people give me this, and everything is just come up to be like this because I see the problem and it's just like I'm the one who living on earth. Why not? Why I need to skip this problem. So let's help each other because if I start help, you will too. I believe in that. And also like I think we don't have to be like earth warrior or eco warrior because we are the one who live on earth and helping earth is like our duty because saving the world is means saving yourself. Easy and simple.
Yeah, very nice words from Baitong. Thank you so much, Miss Earthfire. And now let's have our Miss Earth, Destiny. Destiny, what is one thing do you think made you become an Earth warrior?
So it's actually two people. The two most important people in my life would definitely be my mom and my dad. They just raised my sister and I off the simplicity of love, and they raised us on um, living off the land. So from a young age, I was very in tune with nature. We would always go camping. We even had an RV. So for a while, we were living in an RV, just traveling the world and seeing different parts of the world, the nature, observing different animals, and we found like a couple stray dogs that we took with us. And that's when I realized well, it wasn't until I got older that I realized that they were prepping me for something like great. They were prepping me to be an eco warrior. My dad is a farmer. My mom is a philanthropist. So it just it makes sense, and I'm destiny. So everything has happened for a reason, and I'm very thankful that they introduced me to such a humble way of living and a healthy, sustainable lifestyle at a young age.
All right, thank you so much, Destiny. And now let's read some questions from the comment section. I think this question is for Miss Earth, Destiny, Miss Earth 2021. The question is, how do you think your victory influenced other Belizean girls to join beauty pageants? And what will be your advice to anyone who wanted to follow your footsteps?
Yeah, so I've actually been receiving a lot of messages as well from young girls, young ladies who I previously worked with different projects, and also strangers as well. And I can see the influence already because representation matters. And to see someone who comes from your background or from a small town, the same town as you, and they were able to achieve such a huge accomplishment, it gives them hope, and it gives them a sense of um, it gives them a sense of allowing them to dream outside of the box. It doesn't limit them anymore. For a while, I felt like we were all limited, or we have all felt limited at some point, and we thought there was a ceiling that we could reach, and we couldn't go above it. So I'm happy to have gone above the ceiling and encouraging young women to do the same, specifically women of color or women who have natural hair and doesn't necessarily have the beauty standard or the traditional beauty look. So I think this was a turning point in pageantry, not just in my country, but internationally a turning point. And my advice to them would just be yourself. Do not change for society. Do not change for the world. The world will end up changing for you.
Wow, very beautiful words of wisdom from Miss Earth 2021 herself, Destiny. Thank you so much. I'm sure a lot of girls are really inspired by your victory. So thank you so much for bringing that crown to Belize. And now let's have another question. Thank you so much, Frederick Constantino, for your question. Let's go to the question of um, let's go to the question of Kuiper belt. So, question for all the queens. What's your take on fashion diet campaign to lessen the impact of fast fashion? Is it right? Did I read it right? Hashtag Miss Earth 2021, hashtag Miss Earth. So it's like, yeah. What's your take on fashion diet campaign? Let's go to Paitong.
For me, I think like fast fashion is the thing we supposed to understand first. Is come from everything really fast and everything is like go for the future already. And we burned it a lot in our world and we abandoned our fashion. And it's gonna be the loop like this over and over again. So that's why they call that fast fashion, right? And about the fashion diet is I think it's depend on out love because we cannot force everyone to like you supposed to like wear something like that or not have to wear something like that. But the thing is like you need to know it is important to you and you can create more or something like that because I know my many friend in like Miss Earth this year they create their fashion from like their own clothes and everything something like that. So I think like fashion still can run. You don't have to be diet, but you need to understand first like what you really need. It doesn't mean like your people or your social what to see. You can wear the same dress if it's like fit on you and it still be perfect. Don't have to think about much about that. Just like you happy, that's it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Would you like to add, Marisa, on that
Uh,
question?
Yes, so I think it's so important to remind people that, especially in the day as of social media, where there's so much pressure to always have a new look, keeping up with trends and everything, that it's important to really get down to the basics and realize that you can still be a fashionable person. And when is to not have to spend a ton of money on clothes that is just going to end up in a landfill if you're only planning on wearing it once. So, some of the advice that I have is to actually buy items that you know are going to stand the test of time rather than to follow trends. You can always become more trendy with your styling with certain outfits. So that would be something I would advocate for. And then if you are done with a piece of clothing, think about either donating it to someone in need or reselling it. Like we have one of our sponsors is Queenly that resells pageant gowns to give women a secondhand market for those pageant gowns. So that has been really helpful for me as well, and also for other women who might not be able to afford a brand new gown to be able to enter pageantry. So you can still be a beauty queen, you can still be a fashionable without spending a bunch of money on fast fashion. In fact, the outfit I'm wearing here right now, I've had this for 6 years and it still, looks great. I've worn it so many times, and it's just about knowing that you can style the same outfit in a different way and it will
Hmm.
still look new and fresh, and no one will even realize. I think that we think that people remember every outfit we ever wore,
Hmm.
and they really don't. People remember how you make them feel. So focus on your words and your actions, and just making sure that you can stay creative with your clothing, but you don't need to replace it and only wear things once. So just remember to lead with your actions, and the fashion is just an extra thing on top of who you are as a person. It is not the end all be all.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Marisa. How about Destiny?
Yeah, so I'm
What are
definitely
your
gonna.
thoughts?
Yeah, I think that the fashion diet campaign is so relevant now more than ever. I think that everyone now is becoming more eco conscious and more green. We do live in a generation, though, where we are often peer pressured by social media and society, and these brands are the most popular brands, and these are the ones that are trending, these fast fashion brands. So I think it would be unrealistic for us to just cut them off directly. However, we do have realistic things that we could do for right now, and I think that would be thrift shopping or um, being like purchasing from other like sustainable brands. But I do know that it's easier said than done because most sustainable brands are more expensive, and I know I wasn't able to afford sustainable brands. And it's I don't want to necessarily target anybody who is supporting fast fashion because that's most likely what they can afford. So the realistic thing to do would probably be to thrift shop, reuse your items again, and just be, and if you can, like, and support like local designers, your community. That's exactly what I do. We have so much beautiful talented stylists and designers in Belize, so I support them instead of these companies because they're most likely sustainable. And I'm doing my part. I'm holding myself accountable, and I'm sure my elemental queens are as well. It's a fight that is not going to happen overnight, but we can take baby steps to get there.
All right, thank you so much, Destiny. Let's have another question from our viewer. We have Ruel Lavado. His question is, since your win up to today, Miss Earth 2021 and Belize has been getting millions of Google searches. What do you think will it do to Belize tourism and for USA and for Thailand, your country as a whole? Let's start with Destiny again.
Yes, I didn't realize the impact that this one would have. I think I underestimated it. All I knew was that I wanted to represent my country to the best of my ability. That's all I wanted to do. So I wasn't prepared for what was to come after. But those are just the benefits, and I'm getting used to them, and they're amazing benefits. So to see that Belize was trending, that was just like the icing on the cake. Like that's all I ever wanted to do was represent my country and be given the chance to do so. So it just warms my heart. Like we did it, and oftentimes they're like, so we need to put Belize on the map, put Belize on the map. But Belize has always been on the map. We just have to remind people, and I think that me winning Miss Earth 2021 was the reminder that the world needed that. Belize, we're here. Look at us, look at us. We're small but mighty. So, and as far as tourism in Thailand and the USA, I'm sure that they will continue to tourism there will go up as well. But Belize, this is a huge thing for us, and I'm hoping that people are considering to vacation with us.
Thank you so much, Destiny. How about Baitong? Would you like to add something? How did it impact your country as a whole?
Well, pretty much the same with Destiny because everything we come to represent our country because we want everyone to know our country more and more. And also, I would love to. It's gonna be really big opportunity for Thailand as well because right now every country all over the world we had to face with the COVID and
Mm-hmm.
everything is stopped. And some place in Thailand is like so sad they cannot have to they don't have a chance to run business at all after the COVID-19 happened. It's been like almost 3 years already, and I think it's gonna be really good after this because after like we go to the beauty pageant and everyone search about our country name, and they're gonna come back and travel and give us a chance to show what we have. And also like I think it's really good to be the virtual because every video we film in our country, we show them already what we have. So it's going to be really, really good opportunity for our country as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Baitong. And now let's have Marisa. How did it impact your country, USA?
Well, I think that the biggest impact it has had has actually been our Miss Earth USA organization. So within the United States and pageantry, traditionally, the two pageants that really stood out as being, the exclusive pageants, the ones that everyone wanted to be a part of, used to be, Miss USA that goes to Miss Universe, and then Miss America, which is just our national pageant. And now, after having three back-to-back crownings within our elemental titles for both Amani back as Miss Earth Air, and then Lindsay as Miss Earth last year, and now myself as Miss Earth Air, I think people are really stopping and noticing the Miss Earth USA organization, and now this has become one of the forefront pageants. I think it's already surpassed Miss America by a lot, and now it's really giving Miss USA a run for their money. A lot of pageant fans in the United States are saying, Miss Earth USA it is performing better, is putting together a better show, is supporting their queens more. And so I think we're really starting to realize the beauty of the Miss Earth organization in the United States, and it's really getting the attention and love that it deserves, especially because I think it's, for me, obviously, it's my favorite one. I competed in all of the different pageant systems, and I've never felt like I was at home in any other pageant system more so than I have been here. I think it's amazing, not only for our directors, our whole team, our support system, but also the fans of Miss Earth. Oh my goodness, you guys are the best. I don't have barely any negative comments from Earth fans. They're also supporting and uplifting. And I think it's because we all have the same goal, and that's protecting Mother Earth. And so that's such a beautiful thing that it unites us together. And so I'm very happy to see, the layout of pageantry shifting and changing in the United States to be putting Miss Earth on the pedestal that it deserves.
Thank you so much, Marisa. Another question. I think we have been talking about your respective advocacies earlier and what you are planning to do after being crowned, of course, as Miss Earth winners. Here's another question from Jason Arnaiz. His question is, as an environmental ambassadors, how will you tell a young girl that climate change is real? Wow, that was a very interesting question. Let's start with Destiny.
Yeah. So I think to explain to a young girl or a young man that climate change is real, it starts with education. It's more of educating them and letting them know, hey, things weren't always like this. Over time, they've developed, like, these temperatures have risen, these temperatures have lowered, and it's because of human activity. So you just really have to break it down and make sure they understand every aspect of it. You can't go in full force, oh, climate change does this. Like, yes, it does, but why? How did we get there? So I think that's what I would focus on. And then I would also tell them, when you have the time, like, take the time to do your own research as well. Read a couple books. How you have If you have access to the internet, do some research and figure out ways that you would be able to help combat this situation. Those around you, and hold yourself accountable, hold other people accountable, and most importantly, don't forget about our planet, because our planet has been very merciful upon us. So we should be thankful, and we should give Mother Earth the same generosity, care, and love that she has bestowed upon us.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Destiny. I would like to just add another question from G-Boy Yakuna, Goymal Yakuna. For Miss Earth, Destiny, what made you
Mhm.
say yes to Belize representative for Miss Earth despite the shortage of time? Like you prepared for a very limited period of time. What made you said yes?
I spoke to my mom and my sister about it when the opportunity came up, and I was like, "Mom, and my sister Irene, what do you like? What do you guys think?" They know that I love my country. That it has no one has ever questioned the love I have for my country. I just wanted to make sure that I had the support of my family along the way, and I knew that I would be able to give Belize justice. I didn't know I was going to win. I didn't know anything. I just knew that I loved my country, and this would give me a platform. I know that I would do well and give Belize recognition. I didn't know how well I would do, but I knew that I would do very well. And that is why I said yes in the shortage of time.
Yeah. Thank you so much to G-Boy Lacuna for the question, and thank you, Destiny, for answering that. Let's go to another question from Raymark Nofuente, and maybe ask Baitong to answer this question. The
Yes.
question is, how can we protect the environment and at the same time improve people's standard of living? So how can you
Well,
strike the balance between protecting the environment and improving the standard of living? Protecting
for
the
me, you don't
environment,
have
rather.
to. For me, you don't have to protect the environment. Just like you need to understand, like I said before, because if you understand, you will care, and if you care, that means you're gonna do everything. And first thing first, I think you can start with yourself, because everything in ourselves is our behavior, is effect to our world, to our mother earth. So I think we can live out like at normally, like standard living, and we can survive as well, but you need to know about the knowledge first. So I think it's like it's gonna go to my project, run through it. I use like hashtag like green your lifestyle in the easy way. It's really easy because you just like I said, if you have a knowledge and it fits for you, you don't have to do anything much. You don't have to run. I mean, like run for every project, but you just like stay at your house. Even you in the city, you still like can help and you still can live your life and also like concern about everything. It's just like your behavior and your knowledge and you understand. It's easy like that. Believe me, it's really easy like that. You don't have to go bigger than yourself, because if it's go bigger than yourself and you don't having fun with that at all, you're gonna stop at some point. So fly it and live your life as normal as that you have, and that's it. Green your lifestyle in the easy way.
Yes, thank you so much, Queen Baitong. How about you, Marisa? What are your thoughts about this? How can we protect the environment and at the same time improve people's standard of living?
I think that is something that is a false narrative that we have, that those two things are mutually exclusive. I think that by improving our environment, that by extension is improving our standard of living. People around the world are exposed to air pollution, they're exposed to water pollution, water scarcity, and all of these things are contributing to poor living conditions for people, especially in countries that have lower socioeconomic classes. So I think that it's really important to note that protecting the environment is a fight for us as people as well. It is a fight for our standard of living. And you don't have to pick between Mother Earth and humanity, because we're one and the same. So I think that is something I always try to also advocate for within my work as a financial advisor when I'm trying to give my clients advice on where to invest their money. Is, a lot of times people think, though, investing in green companies, sustainable companies wouldn't be, as profitable as investing in, some of the big consumerism companies. But in reality, there's been studies time and time again showing that companies that have higher, environmental sustainability scores are actually outperforming their market counterparts. So we're seeing a huge shift in our next generation, our generation that all of us women are in right now, the millennials and Gen Zs, that have such a passion for Mother Earth. And so if companies don't keep up, if they're not going to shift, keep up with the demand for more green companies, more sustainable options, they're going to fall to the wayside. So for me, when I'm looking at companies that I want to invest my time, money, and energy in, whether it be as an investor or as a consumer, I look for companies that have a holistic management approach. And that, by definition, has to include how it affects our environment, because that is what our future is. If we're not investing for our future, if we're not leading for our future, we're not leading at all. So it's up to us to really find that balance between both, improving our socioeconomic status, improving our standard of living, but at the same time, that's all rooted from protecting Mother Earth and protecting our future, because without our future, we are nothing.
Wow. Thank you so much, Marisa. And now let's have a follow-up question. I think there's a question here um, from Olivar. The question is, Hi, Marisa. What particular place in the US would you take an environmentalist who visits your country for the first time?
I would love to have them here in San Diego, where I currently live. I think I mentioned earlier that San Diego is actually home to more endangered plants and animals than any other place in the continental United States. This is also where I have my nonprofit organization, We Clean Trails, and also lead Leave No Trace seminars, advocate for the seals and sea lions in La Jolla Cove. So there's so much that we can see and show you as an environmentalist, and work with many environmental organizations like the San Diego Canyonlands that removes invasive plants to help combat our fire issues that we have usually this time of year. So removing the invasive plants actually removes that kindling, so that there's less likelihood of fires. We have a lot of work with restoring nesting sites for the California least terns out on Fiesta Island, which I do every single year as well. So there's so many amazing environmental organizations. And of course, I would need to have you out to one of my We Clean Trails events. I would love to bring you to Rose Creek, which is where we have our biggest We Clean Trails event every other month. And we get usually over 1,000 pounds in 90 minutes. every time we go to this location. So it is something that desperately needs our help. And I think any environmentalist would love to be a part of this project. So I'd love to show you my home in San Diego and all the amazing work that we're doing right here.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Marisa, for sharing the best country that we're gonna visit um, in US. So that's San Diego. Thank you so much, Marisa. I think you have a lot of supporters here
Mhm.
on our comment section. So thank you to all of you. Um, all right, let's go to Destiny. All right, so wait, let me check your question. Okay. So for those who would like to, sorry, who would like to ask questions, kindly comment on the comment section. All right, so there's a question right here
Mhm.
for Destiny. Destiny, can you share with us? Sorry, I'm having a difficult time. Okay, if there was a country that you want your country to follow its footsteps in terms of sustainability, what country would it be? Let's go to Belize, to Miss Earth 2021 Destiny.
So I do love to travel, and when I'm able to travel, I often compare like different parts of my trip, different countries to each other. And I know that when I was in Ireland, I believe. Yeah, it was Ireland. Everything there was so green and so fresh, and I was automatically obsessed with that. And Belize, we do have a problem with pollution. So I'm like, oh wow, like they like even their trash cans looked like nice. Like also what other there's so many different countries that are making steps because that are taking steps that others young smaller countries can follow. But I'm also seeing as well that the smaller countries they take the biggest negative effect, like based off of what the bigger countries are doing. It affects the smaller countries in more than one way. But right now I would say I love what Ireland is doing, as well as Denmark. Denmark does a really good job as well. So, but Belize, we're pretty good. We really focus on ecotourism and sustainability. So I think a lot of countries can learn from us as well. We do our absolute best to protect our marine life. So for any country that has their oceans or seas or are big on water sports, they can learn a lesson or two from Belize.
Thank you so much. So I think the country that you have chosen is Denmark. Am I right?
Yeah,
Ireland or Ireland, right?
Ireland and Denmark.
Yeah, okay, Ireland and Denmark. How about you, Miss Earth, Baitong?
Well, actually, Thailand is like not like the other country. So I cannot say like we're gonna follow footsteps of another country like very well because we are different and we have our culture. And also I think I'm gonna take just some of them to create another system in my country, because I think it's gonna be perfect like that. Because any country is like had to create our system by our people. And but I really love like Japanese law about like take care of the trash, and also like Korea. And I really love technology of like Netherlands to bring clean energy to take care of like everything. So I think like I will take every good part of every country to like system in Thailand. And also like we doing very well right now because we already start like our leaders speak in COP26, like we're gonna create something like great and sustain. And also like I think I'm gonna put really fun on that, because if we having fun to do something, it mean we're gonna continue to do it. And if we continue to do it, that mean it's sustain gonna happen. So that's it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Miss Earth Fire, Baitong, and let's have Marisa.
Well, I think the Scandinavian countries really go above and beyond when it comes to the not only the environment but also the humanitarian efforts, their education programs. I mean, there's a reason why they're the happiest countries in the world. So, must be the type of countries that I think the U.S. really should follow. One thing that from the COP26 that I noticed was the UK. I mean, sorry, the European Union as a whole is donating so much money in reparations to the smaller countries. Like Destiny was saying, us big countries like the United States, like China, our actions really do impact the smaller countries in these greater ways than we could ever imagine. And so I think that I would love to follow the European Union's example. They have been donating so much more money than us proportionally to what their part is playing into carbon emissions and pollution than the United States. So I know we doubled our relief money for uh, other parts around the world, but we need to double that again to even come close to being able to truly make an impact and to pay back what it is that we have done to the world with our huge economy. So I think that that's something I would like to see the United States do. Unfortunately, in our country, we have a very bipartisan government, so it makes passing any additional spending much more difficult. So I think that at least we're in the right direction. We're starting to up our spending to help aid other countries, but I would like to see that double yet again for us to even come close to truly paying back what it is we have done to other countries and helping them to create more sustainable developments as they're becoming developed countries as well.
All right, thank you so much. I think we're down to our last two questions. As we end our live for tonight, I think some of you still have another commitment after this live. So let's have this follow-up question for Baitong. Before we go to our last two questions, how do Thai beauty queens empower sisterhood despite being pitted against each other? So
We
how
don't
do
have
you
to
Thai?
against.
Yeah,
For me, we don't have to against with each other. We come to be like the beauty queen because we want to speak and we want to show something to world, to all over the world, and that's the most important part. And I think like we're gonna be really good friends if we don't think about only like again with the other queen, and the only one person you're supposed to again with is like your own, and your fear and your anger and everything, like just only that. You don't have to again with like sisterhood or other queen, because like you already be your like the best version of yourself to become the queen. I'm not sure it's like I answered the question or not.
yeah. I think you were able to answer the question. So thank you so much, by Miss Earthfire. I think we're down to our last question and then our your final message to the viewers. I think it's a very interesting question, and it's for Miss Fire. For you, Baitong, are lantern festivals eco-friendly? I mean, are you in favor of using sky lanterns?
Oh, Sky Lantern is from our festival like a home, right? I think it's like um I think it's depend on the wait let traditional and our belief, and also like we can stop to using fat. And eco-friendly is like it mean you really be friendly with like environment and everything around you, right? And that's mean you're gonna have like solution to take care of that after you create like your tradition already. And I think it's okay to use it because like if we had to use because traditional, we support to use it in like sustained way. So that's mean like we can come back to use that again, or we have like the way to take care of that after is like go back to the earth, something like that. So I think it's everything is really important. Traditional is really important as well as like be the friend with like eco-friendly.
All right, thank you so much, Miss Earthfire Baitong. For our last question, let's have Destiny and of course Marisa, and then your final messages. So, are you Destiny? Are you ready to be an ambassador or a spokesperson of both government and non-government organizations that you will be working with throughout your reign as Miss Earth 2021? Are you ready?
I I am definitely ready, and to be honest, this is my dream job. I couldn't have asked for um, a better position to be in right now, especially where I'm at in my life right now. This is the perfect situation for me. I'm very passionate about what I do. I'm passionate about my country, and I'm passionate about the environment and public safety. So I am ready to step in and give my opinion, voice my opinion, and give a different perspective from the Caribbean as well as from the youth. And regardless if it's with the government or not with the government, I'm still going to give my best, put my best foot forward, and do the best that I can to advocate for our planet.
Yay, thank you so much. How about Marisa? Are you ready to be the
Of
ambassador? Yeah.
Of course, I think it's so important, especially as women, that we are always using our voice to be able to uplift people with positive messages, whether that's a government organization or a nonprofit. So I think it's really important that we are utilizing this beautiful platform that Carousel and the Miss Earth organization has given us to be able to represent not only ourselves in the best light, but other organizations that have the same goals as we do for protecting Mother Earth. And so I'm definitely ready to be an advocate and a voice for Mother Earth and all of her plants and animals that do not have a voice for themselves.
And of course, finally, for Miss Earthfire by Tong, are you ready to be an ambassador or spokesperson?
Of course. That's why we come here, and that's why we be like ambassador, and we be a queen. And I think it's really important thing because like when we step up to from the shadow to come to the light, we support to speak something true, kind, and necessary to other all the way. Support to be like that always, and it's really important. No matter what you believe in, just speak it. Just be like that and put it 100% of yourself to doing that because I think it's really impact for every one of us, like especially with yourself. So that's it. Believe in anything, just spoke up for that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Miss Earthfire. Your final message to our viewers. Would you like to promote your social media accounts? Yeah, your message.
Okay, so thank you so much for being like really supportive for all of our queen, not just supporting, not just me. And please still follow us on like Instagram and every platform of us, and especially with Miss Earth organization, because this is just the beginning of like meeting. Because like we cannot meet at present yet, but in the future, yes, we will, and we will have like come up with many projects and thank you so much. I'm really appreciate every support and well, I don't know what to say much about the other thing. Sorry, my brain is like run out of my head right now. So, salamat po. Thank you so much.
Salamat po. Thank you so much, Miss Earthfire. Baitong, thank you so much for your time and for joining us this morning, this afternoon, tonight, wherever you are, to all our viewers tonight. So thank you so much. How about Marisa, our Miss Earth Air?
I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's believed in me on this journey, has been supporting me, and being able to make my voice bigger and reach audiences from around the world. And I also want to say thank you to all of our other queens, our elemental title holders, and our Miss Earth for being such amazing role models and truly making a difference within your communities. I want to take a moment to also just say specifically thank you to our Miss Chile Rami, who's Miss Water, who couldn't be with us here today because she's already out there making a huge difference in her country, filming a ecotourism video for Amazon Prime. So be on the lookout for that. We're all so proud of her. And so I just wanted to give her a moment as well since she wasn't able to be here today. But at the end of the day, I really want to say thank you so much to my family and friends who have been supporting this crazy dream of mine for 10 years. If you want to follow us along, feel free to follow Marissa Page Butler on Instagram. And then also please follow my nonprofit organization, We Clean Trails. trails. We would love to see your support. And if you're ever out in San Diego, I hope to see you on one of our Saturday morning cleanups. And we'll be, like I said, trying to get an international virtual cleanup going on in the early part of the new year. So be on the lookout for that and follow We Clean Trails on both Instagram and Facebook.
Thank you so much, Marisa. And of course, thank you for your time. And we're excited on the rollout of your projects for the entire year. Thank you, Miss Earth Air. Once again, Marisa. And
Salamat
now
po.
let's have salamat po. And also we have Miss Earth 2021 Destiny. Destiny,
Thank you
your
so
final
much.
message to your fans and supporters.
Okay, thank you. Well, Pageant Trend, thank you for having us and hosting us this morning / this night. We definitely appreciate the to be given this platform to talk about our advocacies and most importantly, showcase and show women supporting women. My final messages though to everyone is love each other, show compassion, be passionate, and hold yourself accountable when it comes to our planet. Hold your family and friends accountable as well, because accountability is very, very important. And then you'll be able to self-reflect and figure out ways that your action, like determine ways that your actions can either hurt, harm, or help our environment. Also, please follow us on our journey. This is only the beginning. We have so many amazing projects that are going to be coming up. So it would mean the world to me, my country, as well as the other respective countries, as well, and my elemental queens, to follow us, show support, comment on our pictures, and be a part of it. Even though it's virtual as of right now, still be a part of it. This is something that is bigger than us. This is something that is bigger than myself, bigger than our countries. This is for our planet, everyone. So thank you again for having us. Thank you for showering us with love and positivity. And please, this is only the beginning. So I look forward to the rest of the year with you all, and may you follow us along the journey and cheer us along.
Thank you so much, Destiny. And to all our viewers of Pageant Trend, thank you so much. We would like to invite you once again to please do like, subscribe, follow Pageant Trend on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on our YouTube channel. Again, that's Pageant Trend. Again, we would like to thank each and every one of you, to our Miss Earth Queens. Maraming salamat for joining us. Yes, salamat. Thank you, Destiny, our Miss Earth 2021, Miss Earth Fire by Tong from Thailand, and of course, Miss Earth Air Marisa from USA. Thank you so much. And to all our viewers from on Facebook, on YouTube channel, thank you for joining us for all your questions. I'm sorry you were not able to ask all the questions because we have a very limited time, but still, we are so grateful for your active participation in our comment section. Again, thank you. I am John Michael Suelo. And thank you to Pageant Trend. Shout out to Sir J. Barbo. And to all from Pageant Trend, thank you also to those who ask questions. Thank you to, of course, to for this, for assisting as a StreamYard. Thank you also, Juancho Gabinete. And to all of you guys there, thank you to Pageant Trend family. All right, guys, thank you so much and see you next time.
Bye bye.
Bye.